Hey, how it's going, guys? In this video, we're going to look at 10 LangGraph and LangChain concepts you should know. If you are someone who is working in the field of generative AI with a greater focus on agentic AI, you have to work with LangGraph. If you're not working with LangGraph, then it does not make any sense because LangGraph is one of the most used agentic AI framework to build AI agents. Now, it's really broad, and of course, there are 10 concepts that you should definitely know if you're working with LangGraph. Let's jump in and see how you can do that. So, if you look at here, I have this concepts.jpg file, which explains, on very high level, these 10 concepts every AI engineer should know in 2026. If you are building AI agents by writing code, you have to use LangGraph. It's reliable, it's production grade. Crew AI, AutoGen, Agents SDK, Agno, Anthropic SDKs, Google A2A, all are fine as frameworks. LangGraph is on top. Nothing come close to LangGraph because we're going to talk about why in a little bit. And here are these 10 concepts that you should know. Starting from state, you can look at here. It says shared context across the workflow. You can it's stateful. So in a workflow, let's say you're working with multi-agent workflow, you can share the context. Everything is context today. If you are building, agentic AI system, your knowledge base, your prompts, your logs, your telemetries, your tool calls, everything is a context that will help your agent becomes better. And now things like, loop and harness coming up, it's now even more important to look at all these 10 concepts. Number two is nodes. Functions, nodes are basically Python functions, are the building blocks of your AI workflow. Number three is chains versus graph. So when you work with LangChain, you're gonna work with chain. But when you're working with LangGraph, you're working with graphs. Okay, so if you look at this chains versus graph, it says linear is simple, graphs is scale with complexity. Okay, so of course, graph, of course, becomes more, you know, if you are building complex system, you have to build these kind of graph-based workflows. Number four is routing. Smart routing delivers better results than giant prompts. So routing, which agent to route to, what tools to call, etc., etc. Retrieval. You have features like retrieve, re-rank because LLM has lost in middle problems, so you do re-ranking and filter for better context. Structure output. You are doing a structured output, you do JSON mode, etc., etc. Streaming responses, real-time tokens and updates for a faster experience just from a behavioral standpoint. If you're building chatbot, it has to be streaming. I cannot wait for my full output waiting for 2 minutes, an agent doing things. It has to be streaming. So just from a behavioral perspective of your end user, that is important. Memory, beyond chat history, store decisions, results, and more. It has temporary memory in form of scratch pad. Okay, just like a sticky note. You just write it and store it. Checkpointing, pause, resume, and recover from failures. That's really important in multi-agent system. You have to have checkpointing. And the mother load of all, human in the loop. AI plus human collaboration. Understand this. Agents are not there yet. Without humans, you cannot build a reliable and production grade. When I say human, human in the loop, it's not yet there. It will make mistake and then it will be a problem. Right. So what I have done, these are the image that you see, but then we have a Streamlit app here. Okay, that shows a support graph. So we have a customer support agent, a single enterprise use case explaining all these 10 concepts. State nodes, graph routing, retrieval, structured outputs, streaming, memory checkpointing, and human in the loop. We're gonna explain that in a little bit. Okay, the entire code is already on my GitHub repo that you can find it over here. It's called 10 LangChain LangGraph concept. If you are someone who is not interested to watch this video, just go, in this video description, get the link and just fork the repo and run it by yourself. Don't waste time watching this video. Okay, if you're already, you know, aware of fundamentals of LangGraph, you can just go to this repo. It's very nice and clean to the point, not wasting a lot on your readmes. And then we go into our code here. Okay, this is our code looks like. Let's look at state.py. Before I go into state.py, just to tell you that I am using OpenRouter. So I'm using OpenRouter, and through OpenRouter, so the beauty of OpenRouter is it's OpenAI API compatible. So you can, use OpenAI SDK's format, and of course it can route to different models. So fallback becomes an easier option when you are using OpenRouter. In let's say when you are, having vendor lock-in problem with LLMs. And I'm using GPT-4o Mini. I don't want to spend a lot of money for this demo, but you can use Claude models or Kimi 3, K3 that just came up. Feel free to use any model. That's your ENV. And then we have our app.py where we have all our streamlit logic. So I'll show you. And then we have CLI.py. So we have CLI and app both running, and I'll show you both. Two main subfolders are there. One is called examples, and the other is called support underscore agent. Let me just show you that. We have a sample knowledge base. You can see it's a tiny in-memory knowledge base, right? We are not using any vector database here like Qdrant or Pinecone or something. Feel free to use it. Here we have a very simple, searchable like TF, IDF and all. We can use it just for this particular video. Uh, you know, an ID, a title, the searchable body, and metadata for filtering. We have a very simple knowledge base over here that you see, like having few items here, and that's what we have. Now in examples, let me just show you. Here is our LLM config. So the configuration that you see, configuration plus LLM factory. Everything talks to the model through OpenRouter, which exposes an OpenAI compatible API so that we can use LangChain's, chat OpenAI module. Okay, that's what we are doing over here. You can see here, LangChain OpenAI import chat OpenAI. We have our OpenRouter going over here, right? And then we have our decorator function for LRU cache. That is see get LLM, just using chat OpenAI from LangChain and just using the OpenRouter thingy. Our config file already have shown you knowledge base. Graph and everything will show you that in bit. You can see graph and all. Graph is there, nodes are there, retrievals are there. This is schema. Schema is where we have our structured output, return valid JSON, and all. We'll see concept 6. You can look at the concept 1, which is state, and concept 8. It says state is the shared memory that flows through the whole workflow. Every node reads from it and returns a partial update that LangGraph merges back in. Right. So this is our state thingy that you see. Now let's go step by step. State.py. Shared memory of an agent. Okay, that's what the state is. Concept 1. Right. Nodes don't pass arguments to each other, right? They all read from and write to one shared typed state object. This is how you do it. You can look at over here. Start with just the incoming ticket. We have my payment failed twice this week. This is just customer message. Customer tier is enterprise. You can look at a fake retrieve, fake classify, and fake draft. It can run offline. You don't need internet to do that, and that's what it does. So come over here and run this. Running the graph. Okay, the second is nodes.py. Now node is just Python functions. It's a function. Okay, there's no magic. A node is a plain function. State partial update. Each does one thing, and you can just keep writing Python functions, and but then you need orchestration engine or orchestration layer to handle that, not node complexity. You can look at here, it says power comes from orchestration, not node complexity. Here we have 3 real nodes from our agent's retrieval stage: retrieve node, node, and filter node. Run them one after another. You can look at over here, this is our node. Chains versus graphs are important. Okay, you can look at it, says chain parts need an API key. Of course, chain is a linear prompt LLM parser. You create LangChain chains, right? But then graph is different. Graph adds branching. It has different branching. It has different loops, and then it can have pauses. That's what real workflows need. You'll have conditional edges and so on and so forth. You can look at this is how you create chain. And we're using LCE, a LangChain expression language to do that over here. And we just invoke the chain. And then graph is pretty much a bit different. You have a graph we are using from here. Let me show you the graph file. Now graph, you can look at it, says we assemble the small node functions into a directed graph. Okay, you can also have a DAG, directed acyclic graph, a linear chain, Can't express, classify, then branch to a specialist, then maybe pause for a human. A graph expresses that naturally. Graph is important, that's what we have graph over here. Checkpointing is compiling with a checkpointer makes every step durable. You can look at over here. So this is how we create the graph thingy. Look at that. We are using memory saver from LangChain. We have a state graph, end and start, and then this is nodes and support states. We build the graph over here. Write the nodes and edges into a compiled line graph. You can see either we use the memory saver just in memory, or you use just SQLite or a Postgres, like whatever you want to use it in prod. You can look at all our nodes. It says each is just a function from nodes.py. I already have shown you nodes.py file over here, all the functions, right? Which is important. And then we add over here, you can look at conditional routing. I told you route ticket. This is the linear part, classify and retrieve, just like intent classification you can see of user. You can look at over here, and then both terminal paths, and then we compile with checkpointer for durability and resumable runs. Very interesting. You can just use this graph.py even in your projects if you want by extending it a bit. That's on the graph part. So that was the graph, right? Now that's very important. Okay. Uh, Meanwhile, you can just look at here. Pause for human review, concept 10. You can look at here, classify, structured output plus routing, classified billing, severity critical. The question was urgent. I was charged twice and no one replied. You have different customer tier here or tier. You can look at here, confidence, sentiment, classified, everything. Retrieve, 5 retrieval pipeline, plan tiers and pricing, API rate limits, resetting your password, etc. etc. I'm sorry to hear about the double charge and delay in response. A human will follow up with you shortly to resolve this issue. Thank you for your patience. Human review needed before this reply is sent. It gives you a draft response, edit before approval, so on and so forth, and you can just do that. Final response sent. And this is your agent memory, state.history. Now this agent memory can also be in Scratchpad. Okay, you can see it over here. So this we are showing it through user interface, but you can of course run it in CLI as well. You can just do the same thing in CLI. Okay, here and just run it. You can also just do that Python CLI.py and etc. You can just run this command as well. Now, just to come over here, I'll just minimize this. This is our graph.py. The next is routing. So routing, of course, beats giant prompt. Routing is important. So take away if you look at this, and you can run all these files separately. By the way, you don't need any APIs except the chain versus graph because chaining requires LLM, LLM to work with. Other can also be used with offline, just as a functional demo. Don't build one. You are billing plus tech plus sales plus legal expert mega prompt like a sequential design pattern. Route to a small focus specialist, shorter prompts, higher accuracy, etc., etc. You can look at this naive cheap router keyword rules. Right now we have keyword rules, great to explain the idea, but in production you have to do it a bit differently. You can look at over here. Then we have retrieval. I mean, retrieval is of course in production rag is a pipeline, not one call. Of course, makes sense. We have to do re-ranking, etc., etc. You can look at here. Very simple. We have so far, but in production we'll have a bit differently. You can look at this retrieve. We are just using this retrieve re-rank functions. A structured output pretty much straightforward. When you write return JSON in a prompt does not work, most of the time it will just LLM will probably ignore that. So you can use these parameters like structured output or output format like JSON, etc. But then you can also define your custom schema to do that. So we have that over here. You can see streaming. Streaming, of course, from a behavioral standpoint, perception of speed is important. That's what we have mentioned over here. You can look at that. You can also use SSCs and all. You can do a lot of engineering behind it if you want. Memory is important. You can look at it says real agent keep operational memory, decisions made, tool call, etc. etc. You can use a lot of external tools like mem0, super memory, super mem, and etc. to do that. But you can also use Scratchpad, the temporary memory in LangGraph that you can do. So this is we have our memory thing. Okay, over here. Checkpointing is important. So for if system fails, right, and then you have to resume from there, not from start. So that's important. Sometimes due to whatever regions, your agent might stop in between in a multi-agent workflow. Then you can also do that. You can look at here this line. check pointer equal memory saver. That is important to do that. And then resume, etc. is all that we saw on the streamlit. Human in the loop, right? Most enterprise AI use cases should not be fully autonomous. The best systems pause at high stakes moment. So this is our human in the loop thing that we have, that you can see. Now all run, right? All run separately. You can just run everything separately. If you want to run everything, you can just run it. You can just run it in wherever you want to run it. Like you want to run it a separate CLI, you want to run it like wherever, you can just run this. You can see graph post for human review. Okay, interrupt payload, risk for this, question approve this action. That's what we have, risk score and question, you can see. And right now we're working with dummy data, but once you have bigger knowledge bases, you have to do a bit differently. Okay, uh, you can just do, if you want to just run CLI.py, you can also do that. So CLI.py also run. You can see there are example tickets. Let me just show you this. When we just do Python CLI.py, it says support graph, 10 LangChain and LangGraph concepts every engineer should know. You can look at this, pick an example ticket. How do I get a refund on my monthly plan? You can see it here. How do I get refund? I just selected a default one. Now you can see it over here. I'm going to say, okay, let's approve. And you can see the approve, right, response. This is how it is. Now, if you look at here, of course, it runs a tier free. How do I get refund on my monthly plan? So classify. Of course, it classifies the user's intent about the task or the query. Then retrieve, 5 retrieval, retrieve, re-rank filter, the metadata filtering, etc. Billing, 2 nodes plus 4 routed to billing specialist. Now the draft response is this. Refunds for monthly plans are available within 7 days of purchase. If you are within this time frame, please provide your account details and a human will follow up to assist you further. Then a human review needed, you can see. The ticket was flagged for human review because we're talking about human in the loop over here. And then we approved it and it creates a final response sends and then save into state.history. That's what it does over here. You can look at this state.py file. We have this state.py file that talks about states, all our state and concept memory. You can look at this. Okay, that's what it does, right? So this is something that I wanted to show you guys. It's very important that you know all this concept of state, nodes, chains versus graphs, routing, retrieval, structured outputs, streaming, memory, checkpointing, human in the loop. Now, the beauty of LangGraph is, of course, beyond that. There's a lot of already built design patterns, right? Let's say, for example, if you want to work with React, Reason and Act, you can just use React module, create React module in LangGraph. And if you want to work with different types of memories like episodic memory, periodic memories, retrieval memories, etc., you can also use LangGraph to do that. I mean, this really powerful. And LangGraph is pretty much compatible with LangFuse and all. So you can also do evals and observability as well if you want to do that. So this will be available on my GitHub. Okay, the entire thing is available. You can see example, support agents, app, and CLI. Feel free to go and use this further, for your workshop or for your project or for your whatever you are doing. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or feedback regarding this project, this topic, this video, you can let me know in the comment box. You can also reach out to me through my social media channels. Find those information on channel banner and this video's description or channel about us, right? If you like this video, please hit the like icon. If you have not subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe the channel, guys. That motivates me to create more such videos in near future. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.